analysts have been warning of the dollar's impending doom.
I don't want to be overly dramatic, but I think I will use the word doomed in the long term.
The US dollar is the most powerful currency that exists today. It's accepted and traded almost everywhere in the world and has shown strong resilience through numerous financial shocks and mounting fiscal debt.
The US dollar for the last couple of decades has been the preeminent global currency in virtually every dimension you can think of.
It allows us to have a great demand for our currency and for our bonds. So it often allows us to live a bit beyond our means, so we can borrow easily and at low interest rates in the world to finance economic growth.
But some experts worry that the dollar's dominance may be under threat.
I tend to think that nothing could ever dislodge the dollar from this preeminent status as the world's currency. That view is overblown and ultimately will be challenged.
So what poses a threat to the dollar's status as the world's reserve currency, and just how long can its dominance last?
Well, the reason they're talking about inflation or deflation is because way back when I was in the 70s, a true capitalist would let a business fail. Okay, understand that capitalism, according to Schumpeter, is that capitalism destroys inefficient companies. So if you suck, the capitalism will wipe you out. You're out of business. So you look at one not too long ago, there was Blockbuster Video, then Netflix came along and they're toast. They're just gone. And so a lot of true capitalists wipes out the inefficient or the obsolete. But for the last so many years, since 1907, really, they've been saving the banks. So the banks are so corrupt, and the reason the Federal Reserve had to come in was to protect the rich bankers. And what they did was back in 2008, there was quantitative easing, which is a very complex subject. But basically, the Fed just prints money and gives it to banks, okay, to prevent them from failing. So that's not capitalism, that's Marxism, that's socialism, that's communism. It's called central banks. But since most of our school teachers are communists anyway, they don't know the difference. So they can't teach kids that. So what happened in 1971, President Nixon then took the dollar off the gold standard. And so that they could print as much money as they wanted to. And in 1972, I was flying behind enemy lines as a Marine pilot, and I went to look for gold. So this here is gold. This is God's money. Gold and silver are God's money. They're parts of the periodic table of elements. So there's really, I think this is 47 and gold and silver 74 or something, but I flunked chemistry also. But this is real money. And this here is a Zimbabwe dollar. And this is $10 billion. This may as well be the US dollar. So what the Fed is trying to do is print tons of debt, like I think 10 trillion this year, to prevent the banks from failing. So they need inflation because they want to pay back the debt with Zimbabwe dollars. Just think about that. So they can inflate the debt, print 10 trillion, and they print, here's a $10 billion. This might have bought you an egg when it was good, a boiled egg. So they could pay off the debt with fake money. That's where I wrote the book Fake and all this stuff. So anyway, the reason inflation is going to wipe out people is because the average person is a consumer. So everybody talks about, I went to, T-bone steak is this now, and gasoline's this, and toilet paper is that, and all this. But that's because Biden and company and the Fed are protecting the bankers. And so we just had John McGregor on board here. Everything's to protect the bankers. So that's why I feel for the working class people. I think it's criminal that our school system is part of Marxism. There's no financial education in schools, and it's not a mistake. So I've been saying this since, my first book was, if you want to be rich and happy, don't go to school. This was long before Rich Dad Poor Dad. But today we can see what's happening. And people are still saying, oh, it's because the container ships aren't being discharged in Long Beach Harbor and all that. And I went to school. I can drive those ships. I have a third mate's license to drive ships and fly planes. But anyway, it's all BS. So the people who are complaining about inflation, just know it's because the Federal Reserve Bank, the U.S. Treasury, which is Janet Yellen, who was also head of the Federal Reserve Bank, they're as corrupt as they come.
I think it was very significant. I think it was very positive. You know, frankly, the leadership we've seen outside of the United States in crypto regulation is way ahead of where it has been in the U.S. It's something we've been saying for years. And I think at the core of the executive order from the Biden administration is acknowledging that exact point, that the competitiveness of U.S. in these developing markets around crypto, around blockchain technologies has fallen behind, and more investment and more talent is going outside the United States. When entrepreneurs here in Paris talk to me about starting companies in the crypto space, one of the first things I'll recommend to them is you shouldn't start the company in the United States because there isn't that clarity. And so a lot of the hiring, even for Ripple, we'll hire over 300 people this year. Well over half of those I expect to be non-US based.
What's up, guys? The volume of XRP just spiked. And I don't think that's coincidental. Someone knows something that the public doesn't. And that's what we all need to find out. Like I said, XRP could be the only savior for the American dollar. All the Fed has to do is publicly join forces and get everyone on board. If not, we could soon say goodbye to this reserve currency. Obviously, there are other alternatives to dealing with the growing inflation, but none of those options are swifter. Swift. You get it? No? Okay, then XRP. Well, enough with the bad jokes. Let's roll that intro and get started with today's video. As always, welcome to Moneyside, your favorite crypto channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way you get updates whenever we post new videos. And don't forget to smash that like button. And remember, you can always leave a comment or a question in the section below. I recently came across a tweet that got me to thinking. In less than 24 hours, XRP's volume has increased to high levels. What do they know that we don't? Saving up your money in dollars is a recipe for disaster. You've seen what happened to all the other major currencies, right? Guess the next currency that's going to take a hit. Now here's another tweet that will obviously send chills down your spine. Why would institutional investors short Bitcoin while betting on XRP? Guys, you need to stay ahead of the game. The ship has already set sail, and you don't want to be left behind. Clearly, whales are seeing the value of XRP, and they are banking all their money on this. Now is the perfect time to pay close attention to what is going to happen to XRP's price. If you are a regular Moneyside subscriber, you already know that we're on the verge of winning the current court case, and that's an absolute win to all crypto holders out there. This win will echo throughout the crypto world, since it's also a victory for all cryptos. Now, I'm not imagining this, guys. Take a look at the increase in volume and how the whales are investing. These guys rarely leave a trail of evidence, especially when it comes to their investment plans. It took hours of digging through different data and tweets to finally get to the bottom of this. And if you don't get anything out of this video other than this, just remember this. Keep holding on to your XRPs. It's finally time to reap the fruits of your labor. We've experienced the worst market ever compared to any other crypto holders. All U.S. traders for 2 years haven't been able to trade XRP, and most exchanges paused any XRP trading on their platform. So it can't get any worse, and any small win in this case could send XRP's price soaring through the roof in a matter of hours. That's the reason why most big investors are trying to recover their losses by investing in XRP. As a small trader, here's your chance to finally get a piece of the lion's share. As always, do your own research and always trade safely, guys. Please keep in mind we're not a licensed financial advisor. All videos on this channel are intended for entertainment purposes only. You can always let us know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have a conversation. Thank you so very much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and please click on that subscribe button below and turn on notifications so you get informed whenever we post our amazing content. We'll look forward to seeing you on the next Moneyside.